All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to week 18 of the habit building program. We are on habit number 8, exercise, and this is our implementation week. As always, let's begin the session with presence pause and breath regulation that I'm going to guide you through. I request you all to close your eyes. If possible, please be seated in a comfortable position and close your eyes if possible. Let's begin by bringing your attention to your breath. Just observe your breath without attempting to change it. Now bring your attention to your stomach. Notice any sensations in your stomach. Do not judge or label any sensations. Just be present with what you notice, like how a baby observes the world. No judgment or labeling, no naming it. Now direct your attention to your feet. Notice any sensations on your feet. Now observe your posture without correcting it. Just notice your posture. Now bring your attention to what's running on your mind and observe your thoughts without engaging with them. Now, how tired or alert do you feel in your body? How alert or tired do you feel in your body? And where do you feel it in your body? Where do you feel it in your body? Let's take 3 deep breaths. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just be present with how you're feeling and slowly open your eyes. All right. Let's begin with habit number 8, exercise implementation week. Before we begin, I request you to take a moment to have a quick check in with yourself as to how you're progressing with all the previous habits. Even after the session, just make a mental note or even journal about how your progress has been so far and how you can take it forward. All right, let's talk about exercise. Exercise as a habit in this program, we're mainly focusing on the rhythm and timing of exercise. The idea is that exercise is most beneficial when it aligns with the body's natural rhythms. Our bodies are not machines that perform the same way every day or at every hour, and we are living systems influenced by multiple rhythms. First, there are daily rhythms. We know that energy changes from morning to evening, and the body has natural periods for activity and rest. And second, we have digestive rhythms. Sometimes the body is focused on processing the food that we take in, and at other times, it's better prepared for movement and other activities. So we have to keep these rhythms in mind. And there is seasonal rhythms as well. Our strength and endurance vary between different seasons. It our strength level and endurance level in winter and summer are quite different, and the transitional seasons also play a different role in our body. So keeping this in mind as well, we're going to deep dive into all of these different rhythms and how they impact our exercise. But I'm just going over all of the different rhythms that we need to keep in mind. And number four, we have the mental and emotional rhythms. Our sleep, our stress level, our activity, our emotional state, it significantly influences our capacity to exercise and also the capacity to recover from exercise, which is also something to keep in mind. So based on this, exercise should be modified. And then we have for women the hormonal rhythms across the menstrual cycle. And these rhythms naturally affect energy and resilience. So, this means that the exact same workout may feel invigorating on one day but exhausting on another day. And Ayurveda teaches us that health is created when we align our habits with nature and these natural rhythms rather than forcing the body to operate on a rigid schedule. So, when exercise is performed at the right time and in the right intensity for your body, it becomes nourishing, it becomes beneficial. It supports the energy, it strengthens your metabolism, it improves mood, and it supports long term vitality. As we discussed, exercise is non negotiable. But if you do not do it right, it can be more detrimental to your health rather than beneficial. So, today we're going to be talking about how to do it right, mainly the timing aspect of your exercise in relation with all of your other rhythms. So the goal is not simply to exercise more. Okay, the goal is to move in a way that is synchronized with the body's intelligence. So let's talk about daily rhythms and exercise. So last week we spoke about Kapha Kala, the Ayurvedic energetic time of the day. So let's talk a little bit about that. We discussed that 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. as well as 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the day is governed by Kapha dosha, which is associated with heaviness, stability, and sluggishness. And many people notice that they feel a little slow in the morning, right? You may feel stiff when you wake up, and you're naturally having this a lethargy in the body. So, exercise during this time, during the morning hours of 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., which is a kapha kala, exercise during this time helps counterbalance that natural heaviness. And the movement stimulates circulation, it increases the metabolism, it creates that mental fog that you make wake up with, and it creates momentum for the rest of the day. And this is why morning exercise often feels especially energizing and it sets a positive tone for the day. And another important consideration is digestion. Digestion. After a meal, the body directs a significant amount of blood flow and energy towards processing our food. So, if we engage in intense exercise too soon after eating, our digestion may be compromised and we may experience heaviness and bloating or discomfort. So, as a general rule, it's best to wait at least 2 hours after a meal before moderate to vigorous exercise. Okay, 2 hours after a meal. And gentle walking after meals is fine, but more demanding activity is always better performed when digestion is largely complete. Okay, so this is something to keep in mind is to not exercise right after meals and schedule your exercise according to your meal timings as well. In the evening, as I said, body begins to shift into this rest and restoration mode, and gentle movement can be very supportive at this time. But intense exercise should be avoided because it increases stimulation and it makes it more difficult to fall asleep. So, the key takeaway is that morning is generally the most supportive time to exercise, especially from an Ayurvedic perspective. And one more thing is noon time is the least preferred time to exercise because your Agni is generally up and it's the hottest time of the day. And if you're especially a Pitta type of person, as in someone with high heat in the body, exercise may actually end up increasing that more. So prefer exercise before 10 a.m. At the same time, the best exercise schedule is one that you can practice consistently and sustainably. So the goal is to work with your body's rhythm and also your daily schedules, whatever is feasible for you, rather than forcing movement and focus on or like being rigid about exercise. So that's about daily rhythms. Any questions on this? The concept with seasonal rhythms is we know that as nature changes throughout the year, our bodies also change with seasons. We often expect ourselves to like maintain the exact same exercise routine year round, but our energy, our strength, and recovery capacity naturally fluctuates depending on the environment around us. In winter, our body is generally stronger and more resilient. And many people are able to tolerate more vigorous exercise and strength building activities during this time. And in spring, the body tends to carry some of the heaviness accumulated over winter. And this is an excellent season to increase movement and early spring, especially, and to re-establish healthy habits. It's a great time to clear that accumulated heaviness in the body. And in summer, in fall, before in actually let me cover summer first. In summer, the external heat places additional demand on the body. So high intensity workouts may feel more draining. So moderate exercise and proper hydration become very important during summer. So also prefer cooling forms of exercise during the summer season. And in fall, body often benefits from more grounding and stabilizing forms of movement, such as yoga or walking or even strength training. So, this is how you can adapt your exercise with seasons. And the principle is that your exercise routine should not remain the same throughout the year. Okay, some seasons support building, and some seasons call for more moderation and steadiness. So, when you adjust your movement patterns to match the season, your exercise can feel more sustainable, and and you're giving the opportunity for your body to recover more efficiently. Okay, so this is another example of working with nature rather than trying to force the body into a fixed routine. And let's talk about women's rhythms. If you're a woman, this is also a very important consideration for your exercise routines. So you know that with women's menstrual cycle, over the course of month, hormone levels shift in predictable patterns, and it influences energy, strength, endurance, and recovery. While every woman's cycle is unique, a typical cycle lasts for about 28 days. And understanding these phases can help you work with your body rather than expecting the same performance every day of the month. Starting with the menstrual phase, which is approximately the first 5 days of your period, this is when your body is shedding the uterine lining and it's directing energy inward. So many women experience lower energy levels, and this is the time when you benefit from gentle movement and I would say no rigorous exercise during this phase. Very gentle movement like walking or stretching or restorative yoga and ample amount of rest is what's preferable during this period of time. And days 6 to 13, an overall later follicular phase, is when estrogen in our body gradually rises and energy begins to increase. So, this is an excellent time for strength training. Higher motivation is usually happening at this time. So, many women feel more resilient and capable during this phase. And then ovulation is around days 14 to 16. And around the middle of the cycle, your energy and stamina and confidence actually peaks. So you feel strongest during this time and naturally tolerate more intense and rigorous workouts well. So this is the time when you can plan your more rigorous forms of exercise. And the luteal phase, starting from day 16 or 17 to the end of the period cycle, this is when progesterone rises and the body begins preparing for the next menstrual cycle. So in early luteal phase, women still feel strong and energetic. So you can still do a form of intense exercise, but late luteal phase, the days leading up to menstruation, you experience fatigue or bloating or mood changes and reduced exercise tolerance. So moderate exercise or walking or yoga and strength training with lower intensity is best during this period of time. Okay. So the same workout, it can feel effortless on, say, day 12, but very demanding on day 26, for example. And you may think it's, what's wrong with my body if you're not tracking your cycle, right? So it's important to keep this in mind. And it's important to align your activity and exercise with your cycles. Any questions so far? Okay. Let's wrap this up. So I want to give an idea of all that we're talking about. Mm, so I'm essentially trying to say that exercise works best when it supports what the body is already trying to do. Okay. I'm just going to give a quick review of what we discussed. We saw that throughout the day, energy shifts between activation and rest, and after meals, body prioritizes digestion. And across the seasons, our strength and recovery capacity change. And sleep and stress influence how much exertion our body can handle. And for women, hormonal patterns create additional changes in energy and resilience throughout the month. And when we ignore these rhythms and we force the same level of exercise, regardless of what the body is experiencing, movement becomes another source of stress, stress that you cannot immediately recover from. as much as important as exercise is, it's equally important to recover properly from that exercise. I want you to keep this in mind, and it's a very important concept. Exercise is important, but recovery is equally important. And when this does not happen because you've like overexerted yourself or you're not adapting to your body's needs, when that happens, it's another source of ongoing stress. It's a source of stress, and it can be more damaging to your body than beneficial. So work with body's intelligence, and you know how if you're more aware of how exercise is impacting you at different on different days or different times of the day, you can adjust your schedule accordingly. So the goal here is again not just more exercise, but to align it properly with everything. So let's talk about a few habit hacks for exercise. The goal is to create a timing rhythm that fits naturally into your life and that your body can sustain consistently, because consistency is more important than a one off thing, right? So anchor your exercise, anchor it to the morning to begin with, and when movement happens early in the day, it aligns with body's natural activation cycle, and it's less likely to be disrupted by unexpected events later on too. So even 10 to 20 minutes of exercise in the morning to begin with can be enough to establish this habit. Start small if you're not someone that exercises regularly, even 10 to 20 minutes, and then you can add on to that. Another useful strategy is to use meals as timing markers rather than exercising immediately after meal. You plan your workout before meals or at least like 2 hours after a big meal. And it's also important to choose a time that is realistic for your current stage of life. A short, consistent routine, which is practiced at a manageable time, is far more effective than like some ambitious plan that's difficult to maintain. So keep it real, keep it consistent. And for many people, evenings are the only available option when they can do exercise. In such cases, prefer more gentler forms of exercise like yoga or stretching or even like strength training, but lower intensity. Okay. And finally, remember that exercise timing is not rigid. Your ideal timing shifts based on your sleep quality, your stress levels, the season, your menstrual cycle, and all of these factors. So always keep this in mind. Do not push yourself too much. Um, and and another important concept is that when exercise or movement happens at a predictable time for your body anticipates it and it can adapt. So it becomes less of a decision for you as well, and more of a part of natural part of your daily rhythm, right? So make that a consistent thing and a predictable time as well for your body so that you can benefit the most from your exercise. So that's it for today. Any questions? All right, if you don't have anything, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for joining. Bye bye.